If you've been hearing rumors about a folding iPhone and wondering what it might cost, you're not alone. This is one of the most talked about upcoming Apple products, and while nothing is officially confirmed, there's a fairly clear range that most analysts and industry watchers are circling around, where pricing is likely to land. Right now, most speculation suggests that a folding iPhone would land somewhere in the range of $1,800 to $2,500, depending on the model and configuration. That would immediately make it the most expensive iPhone Apple has ever released. To put that in context, the current high-end iPhone models typically top out around $1,199 to $1,299 for base configurations. A folding version would likely come in significantly above that, closer to the pricing of premium foldable phones already on the market. Why the price is expected to be so high? The main reason comes down to hardware complexity. Folding phones require flexible OLED displays, advanced hinge mechanisms, reinforced materials to handle repeated folding, more complex internal layouts. These components are still expensive to manufacture, and yields, meaning how many usable units come out of production, tend to be lower than standard phones. That drives costs up before the product even reaches consumers. On top of that, Apple typically positions first-generation products at the higher end of the market, especially when introducing a new category. How it compares to other foldable phones. Looking at current competitors helps frame expectations. Devices like the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold series and similar foldables already retail in the range of $1,700 to $2,000 plus, depending on configuration. Apple rarely undercuts competitors on pricing, especially in premium categories. In many cases, Apple prices at or slightly above the high end of the market. That's one of the reasons expectations for a folding iPhone skew toward the upper end of that range. What configuration could do to the price? Just like standard iPhones, the starting price likely won't tell the full story. If Apple follows its typical pricing structure, the base model would come with the lowest storage option. Upgrading storage, especially to higher tiers like 512 gigabytes or 1 terabyte, could add several $100s. So while a headline price might be, for example, $1,999, real-world purchases could easily land in the $2,200 to $2,800 range, depending on configuration, timing, and first-generation pricing. Another important factor is timing. Most speculation suggests that a folding iPhone would not be a mass-market product immediately. Instead, it would likely launch as a premium early adopter device. Historically, first-generation Apple products in new categories tend to carry higher price points, target early adopters, become more refined, and sometimes more accessible over future generations. So even if the first version is expensive, that doesn't necessarily indicate where pricing will settle long-term. What people usually look at next. Once people see these projected prices, the next questions tend to be, how durable will a folding iPhone actually be over time? Will Apple solve common issues like screen creasing or hinge wear? Is this a productivity device or just a novelty? And how quickly will prices come down after the first release? Because at this price point, the decision isn't just about cost, it's about whether the form factor offers enough value to justify being in an entirely different price tier than a standard smartphone. At this stage, everything is still speculation, but the direction is clear. If Apple enters the foldable market, it will almost certainly do so at the very high end of the price spectrum.